Two popes have risen to sainthood. Lots of people watching Vatican this morning, where hundreds of thousands of people crowded into St. Peter's Square to see the ceremony in person.
Pope Francis honoring Pope John Paul II. Pope Francis honoring Popes John Paul II and John the 23rd by formally declaring them saints in the first ever canonization of two pontiffs.
CBS 2's Tony Aiello is in the middle of it all. He begins our coverage live from the Vatican. Good morning, Tony.
I can tell you that prayers were answered when the threatening skies held off, the rain held off, and it was quite a joyful noise this morning as the applause rose from the square at the moment Pope Francis made it official, declaring two of his predecessors saints. Generations of church history have passed, but never has Catholicism seen a ceremony quite like this. John the 23rd, John Paul II, two beloved popes formally enrolled as saints, with a retired pope and a reigning pope presiding. Pilgrims from more than 100 nations came to witness the history, along with 33 heads of state and government. New York's Cardinal Timothy Dolan was among the priests dressed in white, concelebrating the Mass.
Catalogo Sanctorum adscribi.
The actual canonization, relatively simple. A church official petitioned Pope Francis to enroll John and John Paul as saints.
Beatus Ioannem Vicesimum Tertium et Ioannem Paulum Secundum.
Then Pope Francis spoke in Latin, declaring John the 23rd and John Paul II saints. The applause from the crowd, a sign of the love and excitement so many Catholics feel on this day.
I think the people were saying thank you to both popes, maybe a little bit more to Pope John Paul II because they remember him better, but it was an expression of gratitude.
Ci sono le piaghe gloriose di Gesù risorto.
In his homily, Pope Francis said the new saints, quote, lived through the tragic events of the 20th century, but they were not overwhelmed by them. For them, God was more powerful. Faith was more powerful. He praised St. John the 23rd for renewing and updating the church by calling the Second Vatican Council. And he called St. John Paul II the Pope of the family, and said he's confident both saints are in heaven, ready to guide and sustain those who ask for their intercession. There are hundreds of thousands of pilgrims from Pope John Paul II's homeland of Poland here. Also present, these flowers, tulips grown near the Pope's hometown of Katowice. The service was joyful. It's wrapping up right now, but the hours leading up to the start of the service, stressful for many. Though the city of Rome is estimating that perhaps 1 million pilgrims tried to get here today. It was with the rain overnight, with tight security, pilgrims sleeping in the streets. It was very stressful. I talked to a couple of American tourists who wanted to get close, realized they couldn't get close, but they said even if they couldn't be there, at least the spirit is in the air, and they were celebrating from several blocks away. Live in Rome, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
All right, an incredible morning there. Thank you so much, Tony. And we're going to take another live look now at Vatican City, where pilgrims continue to celebrate the canonization of the two popes. Ahead, we'll have more from Tony Aiello live. We'll also speak with Father Luke Sweeney from the Archdiocese of New York for more perspective on this massive ceremony. And we'll check in with Janelle Burrell as local worshipers prepare to head into morning mass on this historic day.